Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Suparno. For giving me the opportunity and the privilege to be here. And morning, everyone. I was caught by surprise when I walked in today morning, and Suparno said that you got to speak. And I tried to duck out of it, but between the three of us, there was a 2/3 majority against me, and that carried the vote, so I lost out. So let me start by making a confession. I am neither of the Trinity. I am neither a designer, nor a developer, nor a tester. I am a generalist. And I think, having said that, the other part is that, I grew up in Calcutta, and I've been out of Calcutta ever since I went off to college. But there is the karma bhumi, as Rajiv was saying, and one keeps coming back again and again. Over the last few years that I've been coming back, and this time when I came into Calcutta, there's something very different that I felt and observed and noticed this time around. There's a very clearly there is an air of change and an air of expectancy that one senses in the state, that and people that I've interacted with a cross section over the last 10 days or so. And I think this really when I say it's an air of change, an air of expectancy, it is more, there is a keenness to take Bengal forward. And this is manifesting itself in multiple ways. Whether it is dropping the West from West Bengal, so that when presentations are made in the central government, it doesn't come, West Bengal is not the last to make the presentation, it moves up somewhere. It's not the XYZ, it is in the ABC, that kind of a thing. So whether it is that, whether it is trying to help Presidency College and a number of other education institutions regain their past splendor, or focusing on the rural health agenda by PPP approach and getting a person like Devi Shetty to come and present a project plan along with the local entrepreneurs here, or even something as simple as instructing that traffic should not be stopped for the CM. Well, the red light on top of the CM's vehicle will be there, but the traffic should not stop. So it's small things, or even reaching out to Jungle Mahal and trying to bring some kind of a peace. There is that effort, the expectancy, the air of change. No doubt, it's heartening to see this. Having grown up in Calcutta, it always warms the cockles of one's heart to see that this kind of a change is coming, and the people are by and large supporting it. So while there are major changes that are being talked about, that are being put on tracks, the one thing that one doesn't hear is IT so far. And it's something that should have been a lot of cause for concern for all of us who are in the IT sphere. But my submission to you would be that it is not that IT is in the background, it's only that IT is not in the foreground. And there is a difference when I say that. There is a reason I say that. If you take a step back and think about it, IT is something that underpins pretty much everything that we do. Whether talking through the audio system here, the mobile phones, the railway reservations on the net, you look at anything, IT underpins it. And that is something which has become completely ubiquitous, and it's therefore it's taken for granted. It's not something that is seen. So when you have rural health as a mission coming through, and district hospitals being developed into specialty units, it's not necessary that you will have specialists sitting in those hospitals and catering to a small cross section of the population. It's more likely that there will be a basic level of healthcare that is provided, and there would be good telemedicine facilities so that the specialists can be leveraged. Where does that telemedicine, leveraging, etc. come from? It is underpinned by IT. So that's a piece that one needs to keep in the back of one's mind, that it is something that underpins everything that we do. The other piece is that this industry, the IT industry, thrives on innovation. On whatever we do, it is something that has not been done before. And innovation is not the preserve only of large companies. In fact, if you really look at it, innovation is the preserve of entrepreneurial ventures, largely. Innovation is the preserve of unbounded minds which are not fettered, which are not blinkered. You're not thinking along a predetermined path. Innovation is something that results because you are trying to create and make life easier for yourself. Making life easier for yourself could stem out of laziness. I don't want to do this much of work, therefore I need to find a simpler way. It will spur innovation. There could be a number of other ways which spur innovation. And when one looks at an entrepreneurial nature, and that's something that Rajiv mentioned when he talked about TIE, there is among the entrepreneurial ventures and among the innovators, there isn't a fear of competition. They collaborate fiercely, they exchange ideas fiercely. So if you take a crucible of innovation like Silicon Valley, you have a whole bunch of individuals who share ideas, who cross-fertilize ideas, which give birth to many more such ideas. That's the kind of thing which one needs to build upon, and that's the kind of thing that one sort of, if I can say, I see here, there is youth. And youth is not necessarily chronological youth. It is mental youth. It is the willingness to accept that there is something which is different that can be done. A young guy can continue to be straitjacketed in his thoughts. But what I'm talking here is mental youth, the willingness to look at things in a different perspective. And there is energy. There are two things which are necessary in my mind for innovation. And I see both of them here. Mental youth and energy, the willingness and the keenness to do something which is different. And that, I think, really is reflective. Again, if I go back to what I was saying earlier, it's reflective of the change that one has been seeing, the air of expectancy, change and all that. So what I would like to leave you with as a thought is that there is a space which is vacant. That's the space of innovation. There is intellect, there is energy, there is youth, there are ideas which are available. Claim that space of innovation as your own. It's vacant today. Nobody is there to claim it. Claim it as your own. Make the mark for Bengal. And I'm deliberately saying Bengal, not West Bengal, because that's what seems to be the flavor of the month. So make that space your own. Make that space as Bengal space, and claim that as space for innovation. And that's the area where the trinity of the DDT, that's not the insecticide, the design developer, the developer, designer, and the tester, these three can really make a difference. So it is something that is there for the taking. You just have to step up to the plate with a concerted effort and take it. And my thought is that this is a nice group of 100, 150 people who have gathered together here. This needs to grow, not just in Calcutta and in its environs, but beyond. It needs to become the movement that originates from here, that sets the trend for the rest of the country. So if you claim innovation is your space and you take that forward from here, this becomes the hub, and then let the others be the spokes. Finally, just before winding up, the other part that I'd just like to leave with you is that both Suparna and Rajiv mentioned that I'd been with NASSCOM, and I moved out of NASSCOM a couple of months ago. But the one piece that I would like to leave with you as a very strong recommendation is that if you get stuck with something, or you need some support, or you need some direction, you need some clarity, you need some support in any fashion, any mechanism, could be completely esoteric, please do reach out to NASSCOM. You'll be surprised with the kind of things that we, I still say we, in NASSCOM are able to put together. Thank you, all the best for making this community much, much larger. Thank you very much.